Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to restart for the benefit of people that could not hear me who may be watching on YouTube. So it is 1:30 p.m. I'm calling to order the Cumberland County Commissioners Finance meeting on July 28th, 2021 at 1:30 p.m. We do not have a roll call vote, so we will commence with public comments, and we will go ahead and begin with public comments in the room. Commissioner, to take over?
I am. Yes.
So we are at number 2.
Okay, before we do that, Keith, I wanted to ask first, because of the grouping here, could we do the business item minutes first and then public comment to right next to?
Yes, we can do that.
Okay, why don't we do that? We have minutes in hand, so we've had a chance to review this. So I'll entertain a motion on the minutes from the last meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of June 16th.
I will second that motion.
Seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, at this point, we will move into the main body. I think everybody understands that the topic at hand today is the next steps in the county's planned divestment of the Claremont facility. We're going to be looking at action on some agreements today. And obviously, such actions tend to bring out individuals who want to speak to that. So we carved out that time that's required for public comment. Before we start, just a couple of things. We'll welcome Mr. Kramer, Kyle Kramer from Alair, the pending owner operator of the facility. Appreciate you being here. My pleasure. And glad to see you here. I want to give just a little summary of some of the background. I know we have some members, particularly the media, who have not necessarily been following this over the past 10 plus months. So let's just go over a couple of key points so we have context. We will, as I mentioned, we'll be taking action on some items today. I want to address just the summary of where we are, how we got here. The situation with Claremont is not a surprise to anyone. I've had some people ask, when did this process start? And it's not that there is a definitive start date, because the commissioners serve as the board of directors for the nursing home. And as part of that responsibility, we meet every month and we go over an entire range of issues regarding the management of the home. And the finances certainly are one of the key elements there. We receive very detailed financial information. It's been no secret to us for the best part of a decade that the finances were representing a significant challenge. It's a challenge that's been growing, particularly with the advent now of managed care, managed Medicaid, managed care, which institutes a whole range of new financial obligations and requirements from the federal government. So our challenge really before us in terms of the finances is not an unknown. It was not a surprise. It was always a question of when. And in monitoring the finances, I think a number of us had already said, I know I publicly stated that just for me personally, that as long as the nursing home was able to support itself through the reimbursements and the various subsidies that are received from the federal and state government, that the county was comfortable maintaining the ownership. That didn't mean it was an easy thing to do. It has taken quite a bit of effort over the years. The idea that the commissioner somehow did not see this coming is not accurate. There have been a number of studies done. We've had a number of management changes there over the years. But the fact of the matter is we've been swimming against the tide of national trends for some time now. So where we entered this sort of public process is starting about 10 months ago, the decision to enter into a competitive process to bring in some outside help in addressing future direction. And Jay Wenger is here today with Susquehanna Consulting Group. They are the folks who won out of that competitive process and have played a vital role in providing expertise to us and counsel in terms of how past such transactions have happened. They've been involved with a number of transactions. We've used that as a learning experience. So we're very pleased to have them on board, and I think their help has been invaluable. We issued a request for proposal in terms of private owner operators who we felt would be well suited toward the task of managing this. We had nine bidders, right, who responded. From there, we undertook multiple rounds of interviews, and then we went to the down select, which we arrived at two names. We designated a primary and a secondary bidder, and have ended up where we are now in our discussions with the laird over the past several months. During that time, we also assembled an evaluation team of folks from across the different department functions that are relevant to the nursing home. And we all undertook a number of tours of facilities for both of the final bidders, did extensive interviews with them. So I would say there are at least hundreds, if not thousands, of person hours that have gone into this, not to mention the fact that we brought special counsel on board to ensure that the details were taken care of. And if you look over there, you'll see one of the documents. I don't even know which one that is, or if that's not all of them. So that gives you an idea. So there's a significant amount of time involved in arriving at that. So anybody who wonders what's been going on for the last 10 months, this evaluation process is part of it. The negotiation process, the commissioners have provided input to the attorneys in terms of what we would expect a contract to look like, and what types of safeguards we want built into the process. And commissioners have been very engaged in that process. So last October, we also initiated the first of our public input. That was with two public meetings that were held upstairs here. And at that time, we provided a chart that demonstrated the financial decline over the course of many years of the Claremont facility. I was hoping we would have an updated version of that today. We did not, apparently. So, but I think I'm correct in stating that when we looked at the numbers, we found that the tracking of the financial condition actually is worse than we projected it to be. So assertions to the contrary are just plain out false. There are significant challenges there this board has decided to. So I do want to mention too that during that time in setting direction for negotiations, commissioners were very committed to the idea of a soft landing, as it were, for employees and residents. We've had a great deal of discussion in terms of the types of benefits that would assure our employees continue to be rewarded. We've instituted retention bonuses during understanding that transition is a difficult time. That's in addition to the care bonuses during the COVID pandemic that the commissioners put forward and implemented. And we've continued to fund training opportunities to develop talent, because that's what we're dependent on. And even in the face of an industry-wide shortage of skilled personnel, we recognize the county still has a responsibility to keep that facility operating and to compete for those workers, as difficult as that is. So I want to mention also, in terms of public input, the county has had during each of these months upwards of 10 meetings per month. We have this finance meeting on a weekly basis. We have workshop meetings at least twice a month. We have formal meetings twice a month. Every one of those, just like this meeting, requires an opportunity for public comment. And I will say that in the last several months, it's been interesting that there's been so few takers. There's been very little input into that process. So the assertions that there has not been ample opportunity for members of the public to speak to the issue are simply not correct. So I wanted to mention that. Also, in that time period, all three commissioners have been very involved in doing public outreach at the retail level. That is, we have answered emails, we have answered letters, we've answered phone calls in significant numbers. There have been many, many hours spent on that, as well as speaking to representatives of the media to clarify issues and frankly to set the record straight on some of the misinformation that's been circulated as well. So a lot of time put in on that. We've also posted a great number of documents, all financial records of Claremont, including a number of the studies that have been done over the years that we referred to. They've all been posted on a piece of our website, a page of our website, and that has been updated fairly regularly to ensure that the most current information is there. But we've dug back through our archives and our files, and it's done a stellar job of digging out a number of very relevant things, including media coverage about Claremont's financial position, and all those things are there for anyone to read. So I think that kind of brings you up to speed on where we are. The next step, of course, is the agreements that the lawyers have been working on for quite some time. These things do take time. So that is the current state. That's where we are as of today. And with that, we will, for those who don't have the agenda in front of them, there will be some background information from Solicitor Brenneman on the agreements themselves, on the appraisal process, and then we will have the various agreements in front of us for discussion and action. So with that, we will open the floor for public comment, and we'll just say, are we doing the numbers or are we, okay, so apparently we were assigned numbers for the speakers, and we have some folks online as well. If you're online, we will ask you to use the raise hand feature when requested so that we can recognize you. And I would mention too, ground rules. We ask you to identify yourself, name. Please give us the municipality that you reside in. We limit comments to 3 minutes, and we're going to have to remain somewhat firm to that. We do have a lot of business to do here and another meeting afterwards. So we're going to have to stick to the 3 minutes. In the past, we've stated 3, but generally allowed up to 5. I think everybody knows we expect civil behavior here. This is not a debate. We're not going to engage in back and forth. However, there may be opportunities, maybe when we feel there's a need, there would be a response to anything, just to set the record straight and clarify for those who may not have background information on this, background knowledge of it. But by and large, it's not. So we will go ahead with what do we have? Number 1 and just go through. Okay, who's number 1? Okay, Mr. Plant.
Thank you very much. My name is Morgan Plant. I am a resident of Carlisle Borough. I have been for 41 years. I have been a member of Citizens Saving Claremont since its inception, and I would just like to make it clear, I'm not intending to debate the comments of Commissioner Engelberger. I continue to believe that selling Claremont is not in the best interest of the citizens of Cumberland County, both now and in the future, to a private operator. That is no reflection on a layer. It is a reflection on national data that suggests that when you make the shift from a county home or a nonprofit home to a private home, that there is a effect on quality of care and also an effect on the resources available for staff. Our concern is that in its 192-year history, Claremont has been our county home. It is, to my knowledge, the only facility in the Commonwealth that would be Medicaid Day 1. In terms of accepting patients. While we do have a number of other nursing homes in Cumberland County that accept medical assistance, it generally has been their practice to cap or limit them either in a routine way or in a less routine way. I believe this is the wrong decision. I believe it is the wrong time to do it in the middle of a pandemic. And I very much disagree with it, and I'm very sorry to see the sale go forward today. We will go over whatever documents are made available to us during this time and go from there. But I very much am opposed to the decision that I expect will be taken at the conclusion of this meeting. So thank you.
Okay, number 2 is Mr. Potts.
My name is Tim Potts. I'm a resident of Dickinson Township, where I lived for 26 years now. Before that, a resident of Royal Borough. I want to be clear that before the decision to sell Claremont, there were no public meetings. There was no public discussion before the October decision announcement that Claremont was going to be sold. None of that. And I want to be clear that public comment periods are nothing close to public hearings. Public hearings, you invite experts, you have differences of opinion expressed, you try to gain consensus of the public. You don't just have public comment periods for 3 minutes during the middle of the day when people cannot attend and express their views. That's what I have to say.
Okay, thank you for your comments. Just one question for the solicitor. In terms of the requirements for the board for public disclosure, public comment, has the county met its obligation?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Okay, anyone else present in person that's prepared to speak? We want number 3. Okay, I guess we'll move to the online folks then, and just turn this off. Do we have, what's that?
There's no number 3.
No, it's fine.
Okay, do we have phone numbers, or how do we identify?
We have 3 individuals, none of them have their hand raised.
No one has
And
hand
we have
raised.
1 individual by phone.
Okay, and the last 4 digits of that are?
It's 5515.
5515. Whoever's calling in on that number, did you wish to offer public comment? Give me a second.
Hello, this is Charles Wilson from Camp Hill.
Yes, Mr.
And
Wilson.
I have been listening to many of the meetings, and I am sorry that you're going to probably sell the nursing home. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your comment. Thanks for your participation today. Okay, and that's all we have. No hands raised.
We have 3 other individuals, none have their hand raised.
Okay, just for a last call, if you are online through Zoom or other web-based connection, this is your last opportunity on public comment. Then you need to do the raise hand procedure. So we'll give one last shot after that. Give that a second or 2. Still done. Okay. All right, that being the case, we'll bring the public comment section to close. And we will move on. We have item 4, Solicitor Brennan.
Thank you, Commissioner Becker. I want to discuss with you the appraisals that were done on the property. The county code requires that you consider 2 sources in consultation with appraisers in order to come up with a determination of fair market value. And as you're aware, 2 appraisals were done. One was done, came up with an appraisal of the property being sold in the amount of $20 million. Another appraisal was done. They came up with a value for the property being sold of $20,971,300. I'm mentioning both of those to you because, first of all, I'm going to ask that you entertain a motion to determine the fair market value of the property to be $20,971,300. And keeping in mind that the agreements that you will be considering later on the agenda contemplate a purchase price of $22,250,000. So my request to you is my motion to determine the fair market value of the property of Claremont being sold to be $20,971,300.
Okay, see. action on that. So, so the proposal is to take the higher number of 2.
To determine correct the fair market value.
Okay, very good. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we determine that the fair market value, of the property that is known as Claremont Nursing and Rehabilitation Center and the documents at hand, we set at fair market value, we set at $20,971,300.
Okay, do we have a second? I will second that. All in favor, indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Don't we have time for discussion?
Oh, I'm sorry. Fine. Yep. Go ahead.
Keith, I have a question. So this fair amount market value of the property, is that for the real property only?
Yeah, that's for combination of the real property and non-contents. There's a section of the county code that indicates that you're selling property that, in this particular case, Claremont, you can consider the personal property or contents of that property to be as one unit, in which case you still follow the appraisal requirements of the county code.
And Mr. Brenneman, is this assumption of fair market value, is this based pre-subdivision, after subdivision?
This is determined based upon the assumption that it will be subdivided. So it is based upon the subdivision plan that I understand has been filed in Middlesex Township. The law is clear that when you're selling a property such as Claremont, you can sell that area of land necessary for the facility's operation.
So this is based upon something that we believe will be subdivided. So I don't know how, as a reasonable person on a piece of property that is not subdivided, I could possibly vote to set its fair market value today. I don't see that as being a possibility, and I'm also not an appraiser, and I don't believe that we have an appraisal on the property that would be after subdivision. So I am not in favor of doing this.
I respectfully disagree because the appraisals that were done made the assumption that the property on which the facility is operating will be sold as required by the county.
Thank you, Mr. Brennan.
Come on.
Okay, anything further on it? Okay. All in favor, indicate by saying aye. Aye. And opposed?
Nay.
So noted. Okay, so that concludes item 4, correct, Mr. Solicitor?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Okay, at this point, we'll move on to item 5, real estate purchase and sale agreement, and you're going to summarize that.
Commissioners, this is the document that will affect the sale of the real estate and the improvements structure of Claremont. And it deals specifically with that, although there's a tie-in, of course, with the operation transfer agreement that follows. There are normal contingencies that need to be done, investigated, and of course, a closing schedule in the future. And my understanding that it is subject to subdivision plan of the property, because that is what's being sold or proposed to be sold.
Okay, so that's the summary on it. That's all you have on that?
That's all I have on that. And in terms of action
Yes.
by the commissioners, it would be a motion to approve the execution of real estate purchase and sale agreement between Cumberland County, the seller, and the 1000 Claremont Road LLC.
Okay, so we need a motion to that effect.
I'll make a motion to approve the execution of the real estate purchase and sale agreement between Cumberland County, the seller, and 1000 Claremont Road LLC, purchaser.
Okay, can we have a second? I have a second. At this point, floor's open for discussion.
I have discussion on this, and this could be my discussion on the remainder of our motions today. So I am elected to serve the people of Cumberland County, and those people have spoken on this issue. We have been asked to consider ways to preserve Claremont as a county home. This request has come from individual citizens groups, healthcare professionals, nonprofit groups concerned with the health and well-being of the community, as well as the governing bodies of Cumberland County municipalities, including the borough of Shippensburg, Mechanicsburg, Carlisle, Newville, and Mount Holly Springs. And I will note that there is not one person here in the public that is encouraging the sale today. Not one person is here saying, go ahead and sell Claremont. I have been on the job for a mere 18 months, and the problems at Claremont go back way before I was elected. Although the nursing home is a challenge for county finances, we should explore all options to turn it around and not merely rid ourselves of a valued asset. Even though state and federal government do not make it easy for the county to operate Claremont, we are presented with opportunities to succeed. We have American Rescue Plan funds that could be used to support Claremont while we investigate possibilities or create and implement our own rescue plan for our nursing home. There are alternatives that have not been considered, including solutions such as a long-term lease. Alair operates its Morris View property on a long-term general lease with the county, and the county is responsible for building maintenance on the exterior. The people of Cumberland County deserve their nursing home. They've told us what they want, and they will work to do what it takes for it to succeed. And again, I could add this to the remaining motions. Thank you.
Okay, any additional comment? Okay, great. So it's moved and seconded. All in favor, indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
No.
Carries by 2-1. There's no public record. Okay, we move on to item 6. And Mr. Brennan, take that.
Thank you. Commissioner, this is the operations transfer agreement. In this document, there will be considerable detail about what exactly is being sold as part of Claremont, apart from the real estate itself and improvements. There'll be discussion of how employees will be handled, how contracts will be assigned and passed on if chosen by the buyer. There's information about the efforts by the purchaser with respect to employees that are currently there. There's matters addressing transfer and obtaining licensing for the operation of the facility, and similar to the real estate agreement, there is a contingency period as well. The idea being that the closing between the real estate and the operation transfer agreement would coincide with, on the same date, coincide with those together. So in terms of item 6, you'd be looking for a motion to authorize the execution of the operations transfer agreement by and between Cumberland County, transferor, Claremont Nursing and Rehabilitation Center, LLC, the operator, and 1000 Claremont Road, LLC, buyer.
Okay, yeah.
I'll make a motion to authorize the operations transfer agreement by and between Cumberland County transferor, Claremont Nursing and Rehab Center, LLC, new operator, and 1000 Claremont Road, LLC, buyer.
That was authorized execution. Is that correct?
I did not say the execution. Let me start again. Let me withdraw the original motion. My new motion is I will make a motion to authorize and execute the operations transfer agreement by and between Cumberland County transferor, Claremont Nursing and Rehab Center, LLC, new operator, and 1000 Claremont Road, LLC, buyer.
Okay, do we have a second? I have a second. Discussion at this point.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to take 2 minutes to read some statements. This county for the past several months has done its due diligence in trying to find the right buyer for Claremont Nursing and Rehab Center. And in my opinion, we have found that buyer in Alair Health Services. I'd like to thank county staff, my colleagues, representatives from Alair and others who have made today's action possible. We are fortunate in Cumberland County to have many skilled nursing facilities to take care of the sick and elderly. Claremont will remain as one of those facilities, and in my opinion, will become an even better facility under the ownership and direction of Alair Health Services. The residents currently at Claremont will stay if they so choose. The current employees at Claremont will be offered jobs with Alair. The agreement that we are looking at today also includes a repurchase option, meaning that if Alair at some point decides to sell the facility, the county would have the option to buy it back. I think this is important to understand, however, I don't think that will be necessary. During the last several months, I have had conversations with many of our citizens who have expressed genuine concerns regarding the sale of the nursing home. Once these folks were presented with the facts, many understood the county's position that the vesting of the nursing home is sold. Unfortunately, there was and still is a small group of those in opposition that started and continue to spread misinformation about the nursing home and the impacts of the sale. I cannot understand the reasoning for wanting to scare people needlessly by continuing the spread of incorrect information. I am glad that the truth has risen to the top and the facts are clear. Commissioner Fauci and I have talked about the sale of Claremont. We've been respectful to each other and simply have different opinions. We've agreed to disagree. I think you will all agree that this is not a Republican versus a Democrat issue, as some are trying to portray. That is total nonsense, and I think both of my colleagues would agree with that. Time will show, in my opinion, that the sale of the nursing home proved to be the correct decision. I have great confidence in that decision. Despite what the few naysayers are trying to present, despite the fact that these few don't know or don't want to accept the facts, and despite that these few look at Claremont as a means to spread fear and despair, today is a good day, not a bad day for Claremont. Today marks the first day of the future of Claremont, a future that will be positive, not negative, a future that will be better, not worse, a future that will provide even better care, not worse care, for our residents. I look forward to the future of Claremont, a future that would not happen without the action we take today. We now have a positive outlook for the nursing home, and Alair Health Services will take on that responsibility and will operate Claremont so that it will become one of the finest, if not the finest, skilled nursing facility in the area. Thank you.
Okay, so that concludes item 6. So, Sir Brown, oh, sir, did we? We did not vote, that's right. Okay. We have the motion and the second. All in favor, indicate by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries.
For the record, I'm
I'm sorry,
opposed.
opposed, yes, 2-1 for the record. So noted. And item 7.
Commissioners, this is a consulting agreement. What it does, it allows Alair to provide consulting services for the county at Claremont immediately upon its execution. Again, there is a period of time between today's date and these agreements may be approved. And when closing occurs, and during that time, consulting agreement will provide for Alair to assist in marketing and to increase patient and resident census, and to assist in recruiting and hiring employees. So in terms of item 7, you'll be looking for a motion to authorize the execution of the skilled nursing consulting agreement between Cumberland County and the Claremont Nursing Rehabilitation Center, LLC.
Make a motion to authorize the execution of the skilled nursing consulting agreement between Cumberland County and Claremont Nursing and Rehab Center, LLC.
Okay, we have a second. I will second. Okay, we'll look for discussion, commissioners. Okay. All right, motion and seconded. All in favor, to keep by saying aye. Aye. All opposed?
I am opposed.
It's 2-1. Motion carries. Okay, I believe that completes the business items that are on the agenda. We do have other business listing that we'll get to in just a moment. But as mentioned earlier, we do have Mr. Kramer with us, the Chief Strategy Officer of Clear Health Services. We welcome you and invite you to make a comment today.
Thank you, Commissioner. It's a pleasure to be here, and we appreciate the warm welcome. The sale of any type of a facility and a transaction of this nature is change. We recognize that, and we respect it, and we understand that brings many questions. What we would say is that we view this as an opportunity. We view this as a pathway to a brighter future for an already strong building. Obviously, there have been some challenges. Operating healthcare facilities and healthcare services in this past year in particular have been daunting for institutions across the entire country. That is not a secret. Skilled facilities in particular have been even more challenged because of close-knit congregate housing, and obviously the impact of the pandemic has been very real, not lost on us in the least. What we have found is that through our vigilant and very diligent efforts in the other facilities that we own and operate, we have been very successful in being able to manage challenges across the board, not only through the pandemic, but even prior to that. We have taken on multiple county facilities and have maintained very close partnerships with the county administration, and we view Cumberland County as being no different. So while Alaire may take over operations of the Claremont facility, we by no means see a situation where county administration would still continue to be very involved with us, because we view that symbiotic partnership to be fundamental and critical to success as we go forward. Our goals, to be perfectly frank, are to take what is already an existing strong facility and make it even better. We do that through investing in the facility, not just its facade, but also in the team that is there. At all of our other facilities, we are very focused on staff development. We have a program that we term Alaire University that is specifically designed to provide staff members with the opportunity to grow, to develop, to advance their skill sets, to progress in their own career paths. And we view that as being valuable, because one thing that we know in healthcare services are that engaged employees provide better service, which leads to higher patient satisfaction. And ultimately, if we're focused on the triple aim, better outcomes and higher value to the individuals that we're privileged to serve. Our focus really is on family-centered care. We take the triple aim in healthcare very seriously. Our commitment to quality is unparalleled. Every facility that we have taken over and own has improved in its quality since we have taken over, and that we believe is because of the commitment that we have to improving not only the environment of care, but elevating the capabilities and talents of the teams that are there. Our retention rate is quite high, and when we have taken over facilities, we have a success rate of close to 95 to 97% of employees staying with us, because we believe in the process of retaining individuals who are there, and we also focus on giving them broader opportunities to grow in their own career paths within the facility. And that includes investing in them with tuition reimbursement for pursuing degree programs, whether it be clinical nurse assistant certification, whether it be pursuing a nursing pathway, or others that might benefit the ongoing operations of the facility. In this instance, Claremont. We find that our approach is quite strong. It's very population focused. We have already studied the population that is living within the Claremont facility, but we've also looked at the hospitals in and around the region in terms of what types of significant issues they face with regards to patients that they're discharging. No doubt, heart failure and cardiovascular disorders are significant. We have a very strong program in cardiovascular disease management and recovery. We do a lot of work in neurological care, whether it be stroke recovery or ongoing memory care. We actually have a significant number of our employees who are certified Alzheimer's care professionals, which I think is a distinction. In addition, at one of our facilities in New Jersey, our Freehold facility in particular, we have the leading neuro recovery program for the state. That is something we're very proud of, and individuals who have suffered neuro-related injuries are often sent and referred to our facility for ongoing care and recovering, and we help them regain their independence, we help them regain their overall life status, and it's something that I think is really a point of distinction for us. We do quite a bit of work with digestive health, obviously swallow recovery or other digestive disorder recovery. And then, of course, we care for many patients who have been through orthopedic procedures, whether it be hip and knee replacement, whether it be spine procedures. All of that is something that we do quite well. We are focused on making sure that we are connected with the local medical staff and the regional physician population base, because obviously we have a shared responsibility for caring for individuals. Our goals are to provide care that allows us to identify issues that may be emerging before they become acute issues that require transfer back to a hospital. If we think about the value equation, the more that we're able to manage patients to a state of wellness and retain that, the better off we are as a healthcare enterprise, because that reduces cost. And most importantly, it promotes patient wellness. We believe very strongly in the clinical programs that we offer, but we also do quite a bit within the social setting as well, because we're not just about clinical care, we are about social well-being and social wellness. We do many programs within our facilities that are around social interaction and engagement, because again, that's part of maintaining mental wellness. And obviously that's a critical facet of the ongoing living environment. And as to that extent, we do invest in our facilities to improve the facade. And we will also implement programs that will allow social well-being, certainly movie nights, game nights, or other types of interaction where staff and patients and residents have the ability to engage in life. And obviously that's an important piece. Now, certainly over this past year, that's been a challenge. No doubt it's been a challenge due to the pandemic. But we hope and we keep our fingers crossed that we are coming out of that. In spite of what we're hearing with regards to Delta variants and breakthrough infections, we still believe that we are making progress within all of our facilities and have been very fortunate in that regard. Our commitment to Claremont is in partnership with the county administrative team in place and ongoing, is that we will continually invest in the facility. We will continually invest in the care of residents and patients, and that's important to us. And in many ways, we believe that our goals are in fact aligned with those who are suggesting that we should save Claremont. We don't only want to save Claremont, we want to invest in it and elevate its future, increase its opportunity, enhance its reputation, and grow its value to all of the individuals who live within Cumberland County, and have it be a resource even beyond that. So we are very proud of the fact that we have been selected. We recognize that there are changes that are on the horizon that will, present bumps and challenges, but we're prepared for that. We will have a team here on site, engaged, focused, working with the team that is already in place. And we look forward to working with the staff, getting to know them, working with them to help them understand what is a lair, what does being a part of a lair mean, and what does it mean when we say that we will invest in your future. And we think that once we do that, we will have a very good relationship with those individuals. And obviously the investments that we make, we believe will also make it more attractive and opportune to recruit staff into the environment. We also believe that the connections that we will build with local and regional hospitals, as well as physicians, will help us to attract patients into the facility as well. So that is something that we are committed to doing. We're excited about being a part of, and we look forward to entering Cumberland County and being a part of this environment, working with all of you and being a very focused part of the community and hopefully gaining your trust, gaining your respect, and together elevating Claremont to an even higher status than it already is. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kramer. Just add to that, I think we're all in full agreement that the connections to the community and the community institutions are going to be a vital part of making your success. The commissioners and our professional staff are absolutely not washing our hands of the facility. We stand ready to be working in partnership with you to help make those connections, ensure that you're welcome in the community, that you're supported so that you can succeed in the mission that we've handed off to you. We appreciate you for being here very much today.
Mr. Kramer, clearly the community loves Claremont. Clearly, they are very concerned. So I would most certainly appreciate anything that you can do to assist the community, to help and to be a part of what our citizens groups are concerned about and address their concerns.
Absolutely. And we are 100% committed to that. Again, change is hard, but we view this as a pathway to an even broader future. And we believe that we create an opportunity because of our experience. This is our business. This is what we do. We work with, engage in, and support the care of patients who require short and long-term residency care. And we are excited to be a part of this community, and we'll do our level best to earn the respect and trust of the citizens of this community. So thank you.
Okay, well, it's tall order. So, thank you.
Challenge accepted.
Okay, that's the only remaining thing on the agenda is any additional business for commissioners or staff to bring before. Anything? I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
You stand adjourned.